It is November and I am back in Chiang Mai. Tonight is a full moon, and that doesn't mean werewolves. That means tonight is Loy Krathong. So I'm going to have a bit of a wander. I'm going to go to Taipei Gate and I'm going to go down to the river, see what's going on. This is the first relatively unrestrained Loy Krathong in a little while, so it'll be interesting to see what's going on. G'day, I'm Kevin. In 2019 I took a year off work. I shut down the computer and locked up the office, and I spent that time living in Chiang Mai and travelling in Southeast Asia to learn, to reflect, relax, but most of all to test whether I could live here full time. And the answer is yes. But when I returned to Australia at the end of March 2020, the world turned upside down and I was locked into Australia for 2 years. But I'm back now. I'm living here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and there's so much to see and do. This is my journey. This is 52 weeks. It's been a little while since I've been to the Taipei Gate, so I'm expecting that they will have done it up a little bit. Looks like this is the back of the stage area by the look of it. They normally have a stage and celebrations. You can see in that traffic island there, they've got some lights happening. But yeah. Yeah, this is Taipei Gate. Quite a crowd here. I'm just kind of dodging people taking photos. So, wow. So, there's a stage over that side. There'll be all sorts of music and dancing in there later tonight. I'm not actually expecting much to be happening at the moment because it's not quite dark, but there's stacks of people around. So Loy Krathong is a lantern festival, and it's about a floating lantern. So the Thais construct a little floating container and they have a candle in it, and that is the Krathong. So that's what the Loy Krathong comes from. But in Chiang Mai there's actually 2 lantern festivals that happen at the same time. One is Loy Krathong and the other one is Yiping, which has to do with floating lanterns. They've actually shut down the airport because the floating lanterns interfere with the planes landing and taking off. So they're shutting down the airport for a certain amount of time tonight and tomorrow night. They did try banning the floating lanterns for a while, but that had very little success. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We're just maneuvering this float under the power lines. There's a solution to everything in Thailand. Okay, it's still early here for the festival, despite all that activity going on. Once it gets really dark, well, when I say really dark, once night falls, there'll be lanterns more obviously around. But there's still a lot of people around, and there's a little bit of time to go, so I'm thinking that I might just go and grab a cup of coffee somewhere, and then I'll head back down to Taipei Gate and down Taipei Road to the river. We are at the square near the Three Kings monument, which is just behind me now. Lots of announcements happening.
และเจ้ามาวางตามฐานต่างๆที่เป็นปีเกิดของท่านหรือว่านักสัตว์ของท่านนะเจ้าเริ่มตั้งแต่ชวดหนูฉลูบัวน่ะปีชวดนะเจ้าจะเริ่มที่ฝั่งทางที่เหนือของวงอนุสาวรีย์สามกษัตริย์นะเจ้า
So there's stuff happening all over the city. There's always something happening here for a big festival. There's people around everywhere. Okay, it's starting to get darker now, so I'm going to head back down to Taipei Gate and then down Taipei Road to the river. I'll graze my way along there, I think. I'm just about to switch over to some older technology because the GoPro is a bit tricky and not so good in the darker light. So I'll be switching over to some older technology and hopefully that will work. As I headed down the road towards Taipei Gate, the parade that they were getting the float under the lines for started. So these guys are headed to the Three Kings Monument Square. There are things happening all around Thailand and Chiang Mai. This is the spot where I changed over the equipment, so you can have a look at the difference in the quality of image. But yeah, when I got back to Taipei Gate, it was quite busy, lots of things going on, big concert happening on the stage, and people everywhere. Traffic around the ring road was almost at a standstill. Very busy indeed. So then I headed down Taipei Road to the river. Lots of stuff generally happening at the river. So Taipei Road had all sorts of food stalls lining the edge of the road, and I did graze my way down the road. The temples were all decorated and done up. Lots of things happening in the temples all around town as well. The river always looks really nice, but especially so. They had lots of fireworks. Anybody could set off fireworks. It was a little bit chaotic, but certainly not as busy and chaotic as I remember it from 2019. There were once again lots of food stalls. There were krathongs for sale, which were people were floating down the river, and there were fireworks. I only saw three sky lanterns, three lonely sky lanterns, so their efforts to reduce the sky lanterns seem to have paid dividends. It was quite a big night along the river, especially for restaurants along the river. Over the past maybe a week and a bit, I've been seeing them set up around the city, and one of the things I noticed they were doing, so setting up as a new canal tourist kind of attraction, which those of you who have been following me for a while may have heard me mention. As we walk past, I've been threatening to take you there for a little while. So we'll do a bigger video on that, but I thought I'd go over and see what's going on over there tonight, and maybe we go for a walk to the river after that, depending how energetic I'm feeling. So anyway, let's go and have a look. So since this canal has been set up, there's a thriving business in car parks. People have opened up their shops and their houses and any fields they have, and they're charging people a nominal fee for parking to get into the canal. For Loy Krathong, it was quite busy. One of the things that I often hear Westerners talk about is they wonder how long it is before somebody gets drunk and falls in the canal. And it's a bit of a drop. But the Thais, as I say, have solutions for everything. They set up slides so that you could just slide your krathong down into the canal without having to lean over and hang by your toes. I must say I actually really enjoyed it along the canal. It was a really pleasant experience, big party atmosphere, lots of people around, they had their shops open, lots of families who live along the canal have taken the opportunity to open up businesses. But yeah, lots and lots of shops open, places to eat, different ways of putting your krathong in the canal, and a bit of a party going on, as party atmosphere as well. Yeah, it was a really nice evening down at the canal, so I will go back there again at Loy Krathong, I think. So back down at the river, I did go back down to the river. It was actually as chaotic as I remember. There were a lot of people out at the river on the second night. Still had fireworks, still had lots of krathongs in the river. Once again, didn't see any sky lanterns. I think the fireworks are kind of taking over from the sky lanterns a bit. So yeah, but lots more people out on the second night. That's the bridge which normally has traffic running over it, and they've largely closed it off. There was a few cars driving through, but they were going very slowly. Okay, that's it for me, for Loy Krathong for 2022. I'm heading for home, but I will catch you next time.